have an opening prayer, to commit this session to the hands of God and, of course, take it up from there. So, without further ado, I would like to call on our quality assurance manager in the person of Dr. Bolan Oke to take us on the opening prayer so that we can get this on the road. Thank you so much. Doc, over to you, please.
All right. All right. All right. Good morning, everyone. Can we just bow our heads so we pray? Almighty Father, we thank you for today. We give you all the praise. We thank you for your faithfulness upon our lives, and we thank you for such a moment as this. We ask, Lord, that as we start, you start with us. You make this meeting quite impactful, quite knowledgeable, and every questions would have appropriate answers to them. That this meeting there will be peace, there will be a sharing of knowledge, and every beautiful things that you've destined for this meeting will be actualized in the name of Jesus. We pray for everyone of the group. We ask, Lord God Almighty, as they're here, it won't be time wasted for them. That everything that they hope to actually get here, they would get in the name of Jesus. And we start this meeting in the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. For in Jesus' mighty name we've prayed. Amen.
All right, thank you so much, Doc, for that powerful prayer session. Thank you. With that being done, we can start sharing some general information on how this program, how this forum is meant to roll through. So welcome once again. I can see we've had people from the last time I spoke. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Good morning to you all. So for some just ground rules, like I had mentioned earlier, it will definitely help that we maintain some orderliness and quietness, and as we go along. Our IT team would be sharing the provider survey, as is our culture here, as the norm. We would be sharing the provider survey rather. The link would be pasted in chat of this forum. You can go ahead, click on the link, go ahead and post, fill out the survey. There's a portion of the survey that speaks to dropping your phone number. Once you provide that, you'd be able to get your free data. Right? Of course, that only comes after you have survey. So please, I encourage all of us to go ahead and do that while we, wait for more people to join us. Thank you so much. Welcome, everybody. Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right. So just as I said before, typically this forum is has come to stay here in Phillips Hmo. We believe it is actually very important that we have forums this where Apple come together, to what the general experience with Phillips HMO. Of course, basically discuss your experience with us here at Phillips HMO. Keep abreast of all our processes, as well as also show you how to use our user-friendly software in terms of how to submit your claims, how to interact with the call center, how to, treat our enrollees once they come into your facility and all of that. So by the end of this session, I definitely believe that all of us have one knowledge or the other as it pertains to Phillips HMO. And of course, we would have been able to have some of our issues, some of the concerns you've had over time addressed here on this platform. So thank you so much. We look forward to more people, joining us. And of course, as they come in, we would give them the room to speak. Of course, we also know that after some of the address from some of our managers here, some of our staff here, we would be given the platform to drop any comments, any issues that you've had. And welcome once again. All right, everyone. So at this point, we would like to take the national anthem. So please, all right, the FT team, I think you can go ahead with that. Thank you so much. All right. Thank you so much, everyone, for staying with us. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And a very good morning to every other person who has joined us in the last 5, 10 minutes. We welcome you to this Phillips HMO Provider Forum once again. At this point, I'd like to yield the floor um, to my MD to give us the opening remarks. But I think before we do that, I would like to introduce, get us acquainted with some of the PHMO staff, some of the Phoenix HMO staff that's present on this call. Of course, they will be presenting in one capacity or the other further down the forum. But let me just, touch on some of the key people so that we can get acquainted with them. All right, in no particular order, but of course, I would like to first of all start with introducing my MD in the person of Dr. Victor Benebo. He's the MD slash CEO, Philips HMO. After that, I would also like to introduce our head of medical operations and quality assurance in the person of Dr. Ezechinyere Ekbo. I'm sure a couple of us here have had some interactions with him in one way or the other. We also have our head of finance here with us, Mr. Olubumi Faloa. He'll be giving us a presentation much later in the forum as well. We also have our head of video on this call, Mr. Kolawole Shoga. He would also, of course, he would have a session to present to us. We have our very able claim manager in the person of Mr. Felix, which would take us on the portal training. And that is also going to be a very exciting bit and a very important bit of this forum as well. And of course, we have our policy assurance manager, Dr. Bola Hoke, who gave us the very powerful opening prayer as well. Then, of course, I remain your anchor, Margaret Achibong, the Unit Head Client Services and Provider Engagement. All right. So moving on from that, I would like to yield the floor, like I said earlier, to my MD to give us the opening remarks. All right, MD sir, please carry on. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you so much, Margaret, and thank you, everyone. I want to appreciate everyone on this platform, starting with our very important partners. And I'm starting with them because that is our operational philosophy to welcome all participants and also those who are yet to join and welcoming you in advance. I want to say a very big thank you for joining this forum. I, and welcome our team members who have been, and they also have a very important welcome to every one of us. Big to appreciate everyone for all that you've been doing. We do recognize the partnership that we have with you. We want to say that this partnership is very important to us, and we see us in this business, and because we know that providers and HMOs in long industry. In the light of this, I also want to appeal to us pray and to um, work in tandem and work together. This is very important because um, that is the reason we are in the health industry to render health care. Of our answer, so to speak, and being the ones that are directly rendering that quality of care to our release. We do appreciate that. Thank you so much. We also want to say that in Phillips, we are committed with our partners in a mutually beneficial way. So that is to say that we believe in a win that doing business with us together for the benefit of the release that we service. So that's also very important for us to remind ourselves of. We want to say that please, if there is any issue or any concern you have, please reach out to us. We do not think it as professional and appropriate. It is actually against our contract time for providers to engage and release issue or concern that they have instead of engaging the HMO. You know that that's right. The right thing to do is for you to engage us for any concern you have, for any issue you have, and definitely will be there. Yeah. I say this because sometimes we find that we sometimes feedback we release where other tell them some things, others say that to them, and we think that is not professional, and we believe that for people that particularly of you in that regard. So please, issue of course, one of the things that I know is the issue which affects everybody's economic situation right now that the country has been can just say we're trusting God because I don't want to speak too much into that, but I can and people are facing very, very their challenging times. I mean, and it's something that everybody is worried about. So I know that you are not exempted. We are also not exempted. So I'm saying in the face of that, please let's still discuss, let's still talk, let's still able to work together, and we just believe that we can reach the point that will still be fair for both parties. So we're appealing to us that we should not use the economic situation to throw, surprises here and there to us. Sometimes that become difficult for us to be able to cope with. Particularly talking about a situation where it's there or there or at the point of service that new tariff or something is thrown up to say, okay, this service now, this is the new rate. We really don't think that is appropriate. In the spirit of mutual, we do appreciate that bank of things have come up. The caliber, nobody's oblivious of, but we still believe there's a proper way to, there's a proper way to be able to arrive at somewhere, but where is that we're finding up is actually not appropriate and not accepted. We want to appeal to us to please not do that, because there's no interest of the patients. Their life is at risk. It's as though we are sort of taking undue advantage of the situation because somebody's life is at risk, somebody's health is at danger, and of course, the relative that you love or is dear to you in that situation, and then that is when discussion and negotiation is going on upon the person's health. It's not really appropriate, and I'm not sure it's something that anyone would be happy to want to be doing. So, I want to appeal to us to please let's desist from that, and let's find channel to be able to engage all HMO in whatever issue that we may have. We feel that is more appropriate, and that in a way also protects the life of our and relief has no duplicate. And dealt with in the name of the negotiating tariff at the point of the service delivery. Please, we really appeal to us to look into this and have a more appropriate way to do so. Also, appeal to us sometimes let me notified, and I mean this is also not in line with our contract. Because it is let me say suspend service, or let me say deny care. There's a process. There's a notice of the room, and of course, we expect that the HMO will respond and be able to apply our company or be able to resolve whatever be the issue, whether it's a portal issue, whether it's a claim submission issue, and to make him. We believe that property is to give us notice and reasonable notice for us to align with the contract. It's okay, we have the challenge, this is, and we'll be sure we'll be able to respond to that, and I'm sure that will address the issue in an amicable way. Lastly, I want to also seek your cooperation and appeal to you to be also business partners with us. When it's rolling, as I said, for you rub your back, I rub your back. So want people to us providers to also be able to give limits. I mean, sometimes, of course, people come around and say, okay, we want to be able to for you to recommend one or two HMO or something, please. We want to appeal to you to also remember Phillips and recommend Phillips. That way, you also have more lives coming to you. Because the truth of the matter is that the lives come from the clients that are onboarded. So to have more lives, we don't manufacture the lives. The lives come from the onboarding of new clients. So that's also something that we feel a partners in program can also do to also assist in that regard. Because who use the hospital, I mean, come on board, definitely to you. And of course, we have more lives and more patronage with your facility. That being said, I want to say thank you so much. We have quite a lot to do. We are going to be very snappy and be fast. We know that time is of the essence. Clinicians and medical personnel, we are very busy people, so we respect your time. I want to appeal to you to please stay in this meeting. A lot of valuable things that on the side, and we believe that what we're going to get from you also will help us to improve. We believe in continuous improvement. That's why we hold this periodic, and I'm grateful to you for cooperating with us. Please fill in the area. Thank you once again. God bless you, and welcome you for a wonderful meeting. Thank you. Over to you, Mark.
All right, thank you so much for that opening remarks. Thank you so much. And just running through the chat, I could see some people mentioned that perhaps from your end, feel free to maybe beg on your idea to try and sort it out. It is very important that everyone can hear us because, like I said earlier, this is going to be a very exciting and interactive session. So it is very important that we can hear ourselves at every time. And we're also all right. So of course, if you can't hear us, so please, if you can't hear us, it's too what to drop a message on the chat as well. We can take that off. Of course, you're being muted, so you may not speak to any concerns you have. I had mentioned earlier that I would drop the provider survey. Please bear with us. We'll drop that shortly, and you can go ahead fill out the survey. It takes just about a minute or so to fill out the survey. Like I said, the portion of it that would request for your phone number, you can drop your number, and we would be sure to do the needful after that. All right. After that, we would.
Sorry, Margaret, the phone number that you draw should be the one that will connect to the data, right?
Yes, sir. That's the one.
Okay. They make that, and probably also the network, so that it's easy probably to channel the data.
Yes, sir. All right. So some people, okay, someone have already indicated that they can hear us. Please, if anybody can hear us, please drop it on the chat if you can hear us, because it appears others are not able to hear. Okay, others are saying they can hear us. So please, perhaps check your laptops, phones, mobile devices, so that you can. If there's an issue, yes, thank you so much, everyone. I can hear us. So please, audio issues, it could be maybe from your network or maybe so that they can sort that out for you, or perhaps try connecting to a different internet user so that you can hear us clearly. Thank you so much, everyone. All right, so moving on from there, we would like to, of course, the next speaker would be coming up in the person of Dr. Phillips. Like I said earlier, he's our head of medical operations and quality assurance. So he would be taking us on a presentation to just, keep the providers abreast of who we are as a HMO, what we do here, and of course, what we stand for. So please join me in welcoming Dr. Phillips, and please, I would like us to, pay attention because this is also a very important bit of the forum. So thank you so much. Dr. over to you, please.
Good morning, everyone. Can you hear me?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, good morning. And good morning, everyone. And it's great to be here this wonderful day. And also a great privilege for us to be meeting with you. There's this song that says that there's no me without you. And without our providers, no matter the systems we put in place, no matter how much effort we make to make this business work, we can't do it without you. So this is also beyond everything we are going to talk about today. One heavy pillar of it all is that we don't usually have so much opportunities on so many platforms on which thank you to you. So if there's no other thing that you can take away from here today, and I'm sure there'll be so many things to go away with, but I want you to know that we are so grateful for the partnership. We are so grateful for the right hand of fellowship. We are so grateful for seeing our clients, giving them optimum care. We are so grateful for you going the whole 9 yards, stretching just to make sure that this relationship works. So really, really accept our gratitude this morning from MD and the whole of Phillips Hmo. Thank you so much. This morning, of course, for any relationship to work, the less friction, then the more relationship works. So one of the major things I'm talking about is to iron out the kinks, things that cause here and there that might irritate this relationship. And we actually don't want anything irritating this relationship, because in this tripartite fellowship that we have with you, everybody has to be happy for his work. So we want our provider to be happy, we want our clients to be happy, then we also want to be happy. Because we can only be happy like the bank that says happy customer, happy bank. So happy provider, happy HMO, happy client, or happy enrollee, happy HMO. So there is a link here for the survey, so you can just snap it, or you can scan the QR code for you to get into the survey. Can you see my screen?
Yes, we see your video. That's your video.
That's my video. You can't see my screen. Oh boy. Okay, let me try again. Apologies for that. Okay, can you see my screen now?
Yes.
All right. So sorry about that. So a lot of us have been asking for the survey. You can just snap this link or scan the QR code, and that will take you to the survey page. Thank you. And please, we also promised you some free data to enable you participate in this presentation. So please, through the survey, you can also submit your number for the data.
And the network.
So we are, right? Philip. Sorry, sir.
It's on the network as well, right? Is that not important?
Yes, exactly. Your phone number and your network. Thank you very much, sir, for that clarification. So so that won't take our time. We know we're Phillips Hmo. And our vision is to make healthcare available for everyone. And our mission is to deliver the kind of healthcare that works for every Nigerian. We are nationally accredited, fully accredited by NHIA. And our core values, these are the tenets by which we build Phillips around. So customer focus, reliability, responsiveness, ethics, and tenacity. So a lot of times, or sometimes, when we're going through our clinics, because as I mentioned earlier, my own beat of this presentation is to touch on the problem points, the pain points that causes friction between our providers and our HMO. And sometimes we find out that the claims that are sent have enrollees that are not eligible. So how do you confirm eligibility, especially if you are also relatively new to this relationship? Online eligibility check is compulsory for all our enrollees, all. And the verification is at the portal. None of our enrollees should wait for more than 10 minutes for eligibility check. And this also helps in the sense that we have a roaming arrangement. For some HMOs, the client can only use a client is usually just attached to one provider, but here our providers roam. And what that also means is that the better kind of care they get from you, seamless care they get from you, then they can keep returning to your facility. And one of the major things that our enrollees look out for, especially even when they have to take survey, is the amount of time that it takes for them to access care. So we try to make sure they don't wait for more than 10 minutes. And if both of us work towards that, it's also going to augur well for you as a provider, because it means the provider will keep coming. And I don't need to explain what that will also mean for you if a provider keeps coming back for your services. In an event that, sorry, sir.
Enrollee coming.
Sorry, yes, the enrollee coming, yes.
Enrollee, yeah.
Okay. In an event the provider cannot do an eligibility check, kindly contact our call center via any of the following channels. So please, a lot of times, in my own or from my experience, one of the things that delay our release is that sometimes the provider calls the wrong number. Sometimes you might be calling somebody who is not in the call center. And what that means is that depending on the availability of that person, the person will now have to start reaching the call center. But if you have our call center lines and the exact call center lines, then you can make your call straight to the call center. So please, it should be quite good if you can take this down, especially for our new providers. So these are 24-hour call center, 02016339123, 02016339123. Then this is also very important. Our dedicated HCP email, it's hcp@phillipshmo.net. For example, Anna really called me yesterday that a provider had sent a mail. And when we checked on our own end, and the provider told him that they had sent a mail to us. And when we checked, we found out that they had sent it to a wrong address. So this is the right address, our dedicated HCP email, hcp@phillips. And the Phillips is a double L. Sometimes our provider use one L. hcp@phillipshmo.net. Then some providers have the penchant of sending the request to our info email, info@phillipshmo.net. No, it's not info. If you send it to info, nobody might be able to access that on the double. So please, this is our dedicated HCP email. You find out that I'm really stressing this because a lot of issues actually spread out from our call center line and our dedicated HCP email. So to destroy some of those Hydra-headed monsters, please, if you can just get these two things, it's going to help a lot in paving and making this relationship very smooth, as in the road of this relationship very smooth for for us, for you, and for enrollees. So, of course, how to access care. First and foremost, the entry point or the password is successful eligibility check. Then referral for secondary care must be from a primary care provider or by pre-authorization by Phillips Hmo. Sometimes some providers just allow a client or enrollee to access secondary care, from the onset without authorization or referrals. So please, that is a no-no. Every secondary care must be accessed through referrals or pre-authorization. Primary care services should be attended to at first visit by the general practitioner and not a specialist. So the first point of call is the general practitioner. And all specialist care requires pre-authorization, except in emergency. So we are dealing with human lives here, and we know that there is no substitute. You can't walk into ShopRite and get a substitute for a human life. So in the case of emergency, we are bringing the patient, the enrollee, out of the woods first before we can now start talking about systems and pre-authorization and all whatnot. Then admission also requires notification within the first 24 hours. Pre-authorization guidelines, you can get our PAs through the portal. The system is self-automated to generate an authorization code, and that will be sent automatically to the dedicated HCP email I stressed on earlier. So phone calls on the HCP's hotline, a dedicated E1 line with multiple channels that go straight to the 24-hour call center for prompt response. So you might keep seeing these over a couple of slides because we really want to get it ingrained in us. Because like I said earlier, if we can get these two things, at least maybe like 40% of the issues we have sometimes will be dealt with. So email to hcp@phillipshmo.net. Phillips with a double L and not with one L. Phillips, not like Philip in the Bible, which is one L, but Phillips as in double L. Like they said, so good, they named him twice, double L. PA should be gotten before rendering service. If PAs are not issued within 15 minutes, please put a call to our call center. I had mentioned earlier why that is also quite good for your facility, because the faster we are able to attend to the enrollee, the better it is for us as a HMO and for you, because that helps to generate some great scores for you enrollee-wise. In medical emergencies, please go ahead to treat all enrollees and notify us within 24 hours. Claim submission. So now claims are only submitted through the portal directly onto our online platform. And why? Because it's faster. So in the past, when we have to process hard copy mails, we find that it drags us back, it takes a lot of our resources, and what that translates to sometimes is late payment. But since we're here to make you happier, because like I said, happy provider, happy HMO. So these days, all claims are now submitted through the portal. It makes it easier and it makes it faster. So dental optical centers and other specialist care centers must get authorization codes. Polypharmacy is medically inappropriate and will not be accepted. Sometimes we find out that when going through the claims, and really, our joy is for you to send your claims, assuming you send 100,000, and we pay you the 100,000 because we know it's going to make you happy, and we want you to be happy. And that is why some of these things are coming to the fore. For example, if there's polypharmacy, that means we won't endorse everything you send, and you won't get all what you send. But we want you that every time you send, you go through the pains of seeing our enrollees, go through the pains of all the administrative work it takes to send the bills to us, then it will be our joy to pay everything. But sometimes an enrollee might have a case that is just supposed to take 4 drugs, and we find that some providers are giving 9. Sometimes an enrollee might just supposed to take maybe, let's say paracetamol 3 days. We find that some providers might decide to give 2 weeks worth of paracetamol, and of course, in such cases, we won't honor such requests. So polypharmacy is inappropriate and will not be accepted. Drugs and medication irrelevant by standard practice to the diagnosis/management will not be paid for. So if, for example, you give us symptoms in your claims, you give us symptoms of malaria, you give us a diagnosis of malaria, and then you are doing maybe a full blood count, because sometimes we find out that especially some providers do not adhere strictly to standard practices. So in such cases, we will not pay for such. For example, you taking blood for blood culture when you're just giving a diagnosis of malaria. So referrals for specialist consultations should be only when medically indicated, and the provider should properly submit all claims within 10 days from the successful month of encounter. Please, no Phillips Hmo enrollee should be denied care without contacting and getting clearance from us. So if a client presents as a HMO enrollee and maybe also presents ID card, or for some reason maybe his name doesn't show up on the portal or something, then please, you can get in touch with us. And there might be, the issue might be from the software or something, but please, no Phillips Hmo really should be denied care without contacting and getting clearance from us. All medications prescribed must be safe and not in lines with standard practice. That has come up a few times. Standard practice. All Phillips Hmo enrollees should be duly informed of their diagnosis, treatment modalities, and management. So please, standard practice. For example, sometimes we find out that when it comes to sepsis, some providers just go to the high end, of the spectrum, instead of starting from the low end. I've heard a provider say once that he doesn't want the enrollee coming back. That's why he gives IV Rocephin right from jump. But what he also didn't factor in is that he could also be encouraging resistance. So please, standard practice. And if an enrollee comes, because sometimes an enrollee will say, okay, I don't want to use a hospital anymore. I've been there 3 times, 4 times, and I keep going back and I haven't gotten better. So that kind of scenario will hurt your brand. So your brand will also be strengthened if an enrollee comes once. We go through the whole gamut of standard practice, and he's well. He would even tell other people in his company, oh, this is the hospital I use, and every time I go there, they give me great service. I'm up and about by the next day or 2 days later, and you find out that through such referrals, your enrollee network will grow. All Phillips Hmo members that present to the hospital in emergency should be treated. So everybody, after the life must have been saved, then we can start talking about PAs and other things and eligibility. All treatment should be in line with standard guidelines on disease management and evidence-based medicine. No Phillips enrollee should be discriminated against based on status, religion, sex, race, age or appearance. For example, if you're an exclusive hospital and a client that doesn't look all posh comes, please do not turn the person away so long the person is a HMO enrollee. So on no grounds should anybody be discriminated against or medical care withheld from the person. So these are our contact details. It might do you well to snap this: email, telephone, social media, on Instagram. And going forward, we'll be having a lot of content on Instagram that I believe would also help you down the line: Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn. And I think that's about it. Thank you very much once again for this privilege. I'm quite grateful, and we are grateful. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much, Dr. Z, for that presentation. I'm sure a lot of people that came here with questions, that presentation by itself may be able to, answer a lot of questions here. Of course, with that being done, we've had a series of talking and talking and talking, and we believe that all work and no play, and of course we do not want this session to bore anybody. So the next thing we're going to be doing is we'll be going into an icebreaker session. It is very important that we keep the human brain engaged, and we do not really want to bore you with a lot of information, press down a lot of information down your brains. So this is supposed to be a session that would just cool our heads for a bit while we prepare for the next speaker. So this session is just going to last for just a few minutes, and I'm sure our IT team are already set. They would be dropping about it's a poll section, so you're just supposed to just answer a few questions, about 3 questions, I believe. So please, let's get to do to doing that in just a few minutes. All right, let me confirm if that has been dropped. I think it's supposed to pop up. So please go ahead to scan this, like Dr. Z had said earlier. This is definitely the link that you can fill the survey. Like I saw a couple of people, dropping their telephone numbers in the chat. While that is also helpful, it is very important that we take the survey, because it is only phone numbers that we collect from the survey, the data. So please, I encourage all of us to go ahead, participate in the survey, take the survey, drop your phone number, as well as the internet, the network provider that you use. Once you do that, we'll be able to retrieve it from that end, and of course, go ahead to do the needful. We had other questions in the chat as to where some people said they would, like to drop some comments and all of that. You can drop the comments in the chat, but if you have a question, we would have a special session, a Q&A session, where we would address any complaints, any issues, concerns, suggestions, because this is obviously a forum, and like I said, it's going to be a very interactive one. It's not just one where we come to pass information. We would obviously yield the floor at some point where we also get your feedback and take it up from there. So thank you so much. All right, IT team, please go ahead and sort out the icebreaker session. Like I said, it's just going to be a very brief one so that we can get back into the crux of things. Thank you. All right, so we'll just leave this QR code here for a bit so that people can scan it, for those of us who do not have. Okay, I believe the questions for the Okay, some questions have already started coming in. Please, so that it's not lost in the chat, please save this question. Like I said, we are going to have a special Q&A session much later in the forum. It's going to come up in just a few minutes. While we just pass on pertinent information first. Like I said, it's not going to be a session where you only come in and present and talk and then go away. We're definitely going to open the floor so that we can hear your opinions, hear your suggestions. If you have any concerns, we will do our very best to ensure that all of that is sorted out. So please ensure that you keep the questions for much later so that it's not lost in the chat. As you can see, a lot of messages are coming in and we may not be able to scroll all the way up, so that your chat or your question is not lost in the chat. Please feel free to hold on to it for now. All right, we'll just leave this link lingering for a bit, just about a minute or two, while we set up the icebreaker session, while we set up some of the poll questions that we're meant to take. That way, anybody who has not filled the survey yet can go ahead and do that. I have also pinned the survey link to the chat, so please open your chat. You would see it pinned to the top of the chat. Click on it and go ahead and drop the phone numbers. Like I said, it is only phone numbers, or rather, it is phone numbers that we pick from the survey link, because we definitely need your responses via the survey. So please go ahead, fill out the survey, drop your phone numbers, drop the network provider you use, and we will go ahead and fish them out from there and do the needful. All right, thank you so much. All right, I think the
Okay, Margaret, let me just say
sir.
something. Yeah, let me just say something that I think will help. We've seen some people say they are new providers and they have not seen a release yet. Should they still take the survey? Yes, still take the survey. That will still be relevant, that we need to get from you, maybe the portal usage or maybe login and all of that. So please go ahead. An area where a question may be asked, have you seen a release before, or have you done it? There you can say no. So please, surveys for everybody. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much, sir. Thank you for that. All right, the poll questions have already, started coming up. They would pop up on your screen. So please go ahead and, indicate indicate the answers as they concern you. So is this your first time, engaging with Phillips Hmo? Is this your first time in the forum? Is this your first time hearing of Phillips Hmo? Is this the first time you've engaged us? Go ahead and click whether it's yes or no, and of course submit. Once you do that, the next question would pop up, and you can take the poll questions, and then once we're done with that, we would so yes, we can see that we had a lot of responses for yes. We also had some responses for no. So once you're done with that, just click on done. It will automatically pop up the next question, and you can go ahead and take it. I believe it's just 3 questions, and we would be done with the session shortly. All right, thank you so much. I'm sure everyone is done with that first question. The second question will be popping up shortly on your screen so that you can also submit your answers. Please bear with us. Thank you so much. All right. After we've had the presentation by the next speaker. So after that, we would have another question. So it will be coming in intervals so that we can stay engaged. All right. For the next speaker, would be introducing our head of finance, like I said before, in the person of Mr. Olubumi Falwa. He'll just be, speaking on a few things that we need to know as providers when it comes to how we pay. Basically, financial aspect of the relationship is what he will be speaking on. So please join me as I welcome Mr. Olubumi Falwa. I can see there's a lot of hands. Please.
Thank you very much, Margaret, and the entire team for the privilege of our business partner. I really appreciate you. I'm not going to make any presentation, and will be very few based on our expectations and what we have seen over a period of time. The first thing I want to say is that we thank you for your business with us. We're happy to be of really mutual beneficial processes together. And more importantly, I want to just assure us that to a large extent, we ensure that we make payments as and when due. I mean to say, when the bills are generated and they are submitted, I'm sure Dr. Eze has taken us through that earlier on, when it gets to us, because the entire value chain process, we also come in. Somehow we don't interfere with directly, but of course, we are the NG room that manages the entire payment processes. So I can gladly say that we manage that one effectively by making prompt payments based on established protocols. And we have timelines for all this, and by the grace of God, we've been able to do that. And we have done that effectively. Secondly, there are occasions whereby we have issues, maybe they were escalated to us as far as payments are concerned. We do a lot at least to ensure that that is resolved. A good example has to do with a process whereby we make some payments, and maybe for one or the other, the bank back end, there could be some glitches. And of course, even before providers will escalate to us, we get to know of all this, because at the back end, there's a way we know whether a payment process have been successfully concluded or not. And of course, we ensure that such things are actually done almost immediately. If we have any issues, if it's not reported to us directly, we have a way at our back end to ensure that those things are resolved as and when due. And to a large extent, I think the process is seamless. We have been enjoying that lately, but anytime we have issues like that, we ensure we go back the system and quickly we upload and make sure that our payments are made and our clients are delighted. The only major issue I think I've noticed, we have noticed in finance department has to do with late submission. Sure, like I said, we don't interfere with you directly, but if for any reason our payments, our invoices are not submitted as and when due, it means to prolong the length of time to take us to process. We have an internal process whereby we ensure within 3 days we make payments. For the payments that have been approved, duly approved, we pay. But if we have scenario whereby payments, invoices are not coming on time from clients, definitely it's going to affect the turnaround time. I give you an example. Even this very week, we are still making some payments, and we discovered that some payments are coming as far back as 2023, some 2022. So one begin to wonder what would have happened. So we want to pray with us that as much as possible, let us ensure that payments and to ensure that our claims, our invoices are submitted on time. It doesn't help us in any form. We don't intend to owe anybody, and we're not going to do that. But when we discover that payment invoices are not submitted on time, it's only when we get such invoices that we know. So we want to plead, this is opportunity to plead with us to please ensure we submit our invoices as and when due, so that we can also process. We don't want to be carrying figures after we have closed the financial year. We are now seeing prior periods, 2022, 2021. It's not really helpful. So we appreciate that we turn in our invoices as and when due. And the last thing I want to address quickly is just to tell us that as I speak to you, I'm confident, and I'm glad to even say this, that even for the purpose of the claims that we have, we only have just very, very few that we are going to clear even on before the end of this month. And largely, I'm speaking to invoices that are dated May. And actually, we are still within a control period to ensure that those payments are made. And what we have is totally insignificant in terms of what we expect. So if for any reason we have invoices still there, not be submitted, to be submitted so that we can clear this thing. We don't want to say that we're having spillover effects and it's taking us a long period of time to resolve. What I've discovered mainly for us is that we want to plead with us to please ensure we submit our claims promptly. If we do that, to help us in our turnaround processes. And number two, we can post a clean records as far as our engagements are concerned. So on that note, I just want to say thank you for visiting with us. And I'll be glad if there's any observation, anything you want to ask, so that we can
All right, thank you so much, sir, for that presentation. Please, I hope everyone can still hear me. So we're moving straight into the next item on the agenda, because there's a need to, fast track some of those things. Like the MD had rightly said, we have people who have, who are running their businesses as well. So there's a need to wrap this up as soon as possible so that we can get into the business of the day. All right, so straight into what we're presenting next would be on the portal training. All right, so we have our claims manager here, Faith Okechukwu, who will be taking us on that presentation. All right, so without further ado, Faith, please take it off from there so that we can get into it. All right, so that is still getting set up. I think in the next couple of seconds, Faith will be coming up on a screen so that we can have that session. We also had, I think the third question for the poll section had popped up. I want to believe that we chose the right email address. And of course, if you did, you would of course see the responses once you click on done. So please let us take note of the right email addresses, like Dr. Ezri had said. And if any number that is, or rather any letter that is missing from that, you're sure to not be reaching out to us, because of course you may either get an error message or your email would not even be reaching us at all. So please let us pay enough attention to that. I believe I also dropped it on the group chat. I would also try to post that on the link. So it's even up here, of course, the provider survey is also up on the screen as well. So Phillips Hmo with a double L and an S is the correct answer. All right, so I would yield the floor now to Faith to take us on the portal training. Thank you so much.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Faith Okechukwu, and good afternoon, everyone. My name is Faith Okechukwu, and I would be taking us on a portal training. So to go ahead, I'll be sharing my screen, and I needed to confirm we can see my screen. Please confirm you can see my screen now.
Yes.
So can you see my
Yes.
screen?
Yes. It's busy. Yes, Faith. Your screen
So
is
I
busy.
believe we all have our login details into Phillips Hmo portal. So I have logged into my portal, and I believe we all have just input the login details and you get this landing page. So I'll be starting from the first one. This is home. So okay, so when an enrollee comes into your provider, like Dr. Eze said of his talk, he said you have to, it's necessary and compulsory for us to check the eligibility of the enrollee before granting care. So for you to check or to access the eligibility, just come here under the home section and put in the enrollee's name or ID number. So I'll be using the demo ID number here, 401, and I click on submit. So I'm going to use a different ID number. Okay, so I click on submit and it brings the details and every dependence on this person. So here you can see the full name, you can see phone number, date of birth, and you can see the dependents under this enrollee. So if you come to click on view at the left hand side, it will is this enrollee currently at the hospital. So when you click on yes, enrollee is present, you scroll down, it will tell you this enrollee is allowed to use this hospital. And it also tell you enrollee is active. Okay, so by doing this, you've been able to check and to confirm that this person is eligible and is also eligible to use your provider. So that's it about this home function. Member listed. So I'll just leave this and move to pre-authorization. So when you click on pre-authorization, you will see the two drop down. There's PA request and there is confirm PA. So for this PA request, I'm clicking on it now. It's how you can request for PA from a call center via the portal. Although you also request that in mail, but let me show you how to request for PA via the hide numbers before. And then I click on search. So it brings it also scroll down to where you make the request. So today's date is can you see my can see my screen? You can, okay. So I'm going to put up the diagnosis. It is not designed to receive manual diagnosis. Let's say just malaria. The system will not accept that. So what you need to do is go to your Google, type a diagnosis, and I see the 10 beside it. So once you do that, I see the 10 code of that particular diagnosis, and then you come. For example, I'll be using malaria. So let me come to my Google and Then come to my Google and search for ICD-10 code. Okay, so I'll just type malaria ICD-10. So you can see it now, B54. So that's how to get ICD-10 codes of any diagnosis they want to get. So I'll come back to my portal and I'll put it as B10. If you procedure code as well. So what do you want to request for? Let's say this person did not describe, let's say a test. Okay, I need to also do something. Under this PA request, it's only for secondary procedures. If you come to the PA request module and you put any primary procedure, it will not come out. For example, let me put paracetamol. It's not going to come out because paracetamol does not require any approval code because it's a primary procedure. Or let's say you come and you want to get code for malaria test. It's not going to come out. But when you put any secondary procedure, let's say for example, you want to see a specialist, a cardiologist. Now this is it. You click the one you want to see. Okay, let me change this malaria so I can use a specialist as an example. So let me come back to my Google page and get the ICD-10 code for hypertension. That's I-10. So I come back to my portal and I put it in. Now this is it. So this person has seen a general doctor and was referred to see a specialist. So I'll just come in and type specialist for a cardiologist. Okay, sorry about that. I just got notified that I'm too fast. Okay. Okay, let me just rephrase. Okay, I just said that for PA request, all you need to do is to like okay, sorry, but PA request won't come out. When you put in a secondary procedure, it will get ICD-10 code notice because the portal can not take anything of that news. Now I've gotten my ICD-10 code of hypertension to be I-10. I've selected that, and I'm here to get the procedure. So this person had seen a GP who had referred to see a cardiologist. So I'm here to select the cardiologist. So this is it. Automatically the price will come out because for every provider we have on the portal, your tariff is mapped to you on the portal, and you won't need to start typing in the price. So when you select the procedure you want, the amount comes out. Then you select quantity. I would also like us to be careful when selecting quantities. Well, this is the PA. When we get to the primary aspect, I'll talk more on that. So just select one and you add to list. So let this person also a GP and amlodipine was prescribed 10 milligram. Automatically the price comes out as well, and the quantity is going to be 30 days, BD for 30 days in a month. So I select 30, I add to list, and every other thing you want to select. Let's say the person did chest x-ray, the person was given like Sinopre, was given X4, HCT, just everything you want to request for, just put in everything. And after you're done, you scroll down and you click on request PA code. You see now. So the system is going to ask you to put in a comment. Okay. I'll try to slow down now. So when I said after putting all the procedures that you want to request PA code for, the cardiologist, the drugs, the x-rays, the tests, everything was done. That is to be done, not that was done, because requests for PA before the procedures are done. So you come down to click on request PA code. But when you do that, the system will ask you to input a comment. So let's say you just give us, and when this clinical information is just any information you feel might help us to vet the bill accordingly and to also approve the request. So you can just put in and releasing by and release to see a cardiologist. Cardiologist. Okay. And then the following tests and drugs. Then you request for a PO code. So it asks you, are you sure you wish to proceed? You click on OK. So now another thing I'm saying here is when you are requesting for a PO code, it's not okay. Okay, I'm so sorry about the interruption or the break. Okay, so I'm going to share my screen again now and continue from the top. Okay, please confirm you can see my screen now. So I think we are done with requesting PIN codes. So now I'm also trying to let you know that under this same PIN request module, you can also track your request. So if you scroll down, you can see the two requests I just requested for. I just requested for an hypertensive data download the PIN and a specialist. You can see the request, it's June 27. You can see the name, you can see the ID number, you can see the diagnosis, you can see the procedure, you can see the units, and you can see the quantity. And the status is showing pending. That's because it is there to be approved by our call center agent. Then if you can also see this one. This one is green color. When you see green color, it means it's been approved. You can see it on the right part. It's showing approved. But when you see red is denied, you can see it as well denied. And I'm sure there will be a reason for the denial. And assuming this request is not recent and you want to track, maybe it was last week, 2 weeks ago, you can just come here, put the month, date, and get your request for it, research, and it will give you the details. So that's about. Okay, let me see this. This was done November 14, 2023. So let me click on it. November 14, 2023. So this is to give you all the requests by you, all the PA requests that were sent out on that day, which is this. So that's about the PA request. So under this PA request, you can request for PA code for any enrollee in your facility, and you can also track the request that you've made. So now we come back to confirm PA. So under this confirm PA, you tend to confirm every PA code that was issued to your provider. So this particular one, put in, okay, no, what you need to do for here is when you get the PA code from our contact agents, you come here and input the PA number and to give you all the details. So I think before I can proceed on this, I'll check, let's go check if my PA code has been given to me. Let me go to PA request and see if I've gotten the PA code from our contact agent. Okay, so it was denied. And the reason is this. This Phillips Test Hospital is a demo hospital we use here to train our providers on portal training. So there is no way they would have issued this. And this enrollee is not a demo enrollee. Okay, you know what? Let me use a demo. Let me use a demo enrollee for this. So let me copy this ID number. This is a demo enrollee we use. So let me go back and re-enter those procedures. So I put in the dates, which is today. Diagnosis code is I10 for hypertension. I'm not putting the release number, so this is it. Enrollee is active. Enrollee is allowed to use the hospital. So procedure code, I'm person to see a specialist, a cardiologist. Quantity is 1, and then you add to list. Amlodipine drug was given 10 milligram. Quantity is 30, and then you add to list. So please, before you click on request PA code, just scroll through to confirm that the quantity is right and the procedure is right. In case there is an error and you want to delete it, just look at the dustbin, the delete button by the right hand side. You click on it and the procedure will be deleted. So you put in the comment, same comment as before. Enrollee is to see a cardiologist and the rest. And also you should put the rest like this, but because I'd already written it the first time, so to save time, I'm not going to complete it now. So I request for PA code. Yes, I wish to proceed. PA request successful. Okay. So you can track your request as well. So let's just move on to claim submission while I hold on for our call center agents to approve this code. Once they do, then I can come back here to confirm the PA code under this. So I'm done with authorization for now. So we move to claims. Now under claims, we have primary care claims and we have PA claims. Primary care claims are the claims that do not require authorization. PA claims are the ones that require authorization. Primary care claims are claims like the paracetamol, the GP. I'm sure it's on the portal. Claim that doesn't require authorization. So let's say at the end of the month, today is the 27th. So let's assume that some providers have already started submitting their claims for the month. So the first thing you do when you want to submit your claims, and after selecting the type of claims you want to submit, be it the primary care claims or the PA claims. So the first thing you do when you click on this is to create your batch. So I come here, I click on create batch. And when creating your batch, there are vital things that should be in your batch name. So for example, the first thing is the name of a provider, Phillips Tests. Then the month, this is the month of June. Then the year 2024. Then the title is no auth. When I say no auth means no authorization. Pre-auth means pre-authorization for approval